Hey y'all, I'm Mickey Goose, and welcome to another unscripted video. So I was working with a customer and we're working on migrations, migrating in this case from GitHub Enterprise Cloud to Enterprise Managed Users. And the customer was asking, what about our alerts? Because we're using Dependabot and we're also using Advanced Security. So we've turned on secret scanning and we have secret scanning alerts, and we've turned on code scanning and we have code scanning alerts. Do we have any options for being able to migrate those alerts over? And if so, are there any gotchas or things that we need to worry about? So I said, honestly, I'm not completely sure. So let me look into it. And here's what I have found. For Dependabot alerts, and Dependabot, remember, is the tool that looks at the packages that you're using in your system, compares it against our GitHub advisory database, and lets you know if you're using a bad package or not. For those, bad news, I can't figure out a way to migrate those alerts over. Now you can obviously migrate your repository and turn Dependabot on, and that would work fine, and it would find anything that it would find, but you don't get your historical alerts that maybe you've already closed. In theory, you could kind of see what's happened by going back and looking through your commits, because you've probably closed those alerts by fixing the package problems, but not necessarily. You may have also closed them manually. So there's no good way to move the Dependabot alerts. The good news is there is a way to move secret scanning and code scanning alerts, and that's using the GitHub Enterprise Importer tool. So I've done a whole series on migrations. I'll put it in the notes below on how to use the tool to migrate repositories. I just did a video on using the Enterprise Importer to migrate the entire organization. But now I want to show you, okay, how do we migrate secret scanning and code scanning alerts? And it's relatively simple with a couple of gotchas. So let's go check it out. So let's flip over here. And first thing I want to show you is over here on the right hand side, I have my repository. This is a repository I used last fall at a conference, Live 360 2025 GHAS repository. And this repository, when I turned on secret scanning, it found multiple secrets. You can see I currently have 6 open secrets, and I currently have 5 closed secrets, some of which were closed as ignored by configuration, and some of which, like this one, I closed as won't fix. This one I closed as used in tests. So I want to be able, once I migrate my repository, I want to be able to then migrate my secret scanning alerts so that I don't have to go back through and close the ones I've already closed. It'll have all my history, etc. So the way you do that is, first off, you migrate the repo. Now that I've already done. So over here, let me get logged in with the right user. Over here in my Enterprise Managed Users environment, I've already migrated the repository. Now, to use this tool, if you do a GHAS-help, then you'll see there's an option here for Migrate Secrets Alerts. And here, this migrates the state and resolution of secret scanning alerts. You must already have run a secret scan on the target repo before running this command. So what that means is, on the target repository, you have to have turned on secret scanning. So if we come over here to our target, if we go to the settings on our repo and we go to Advanced Security, you can see that I have already turned on secret scanning. So that is a prerequisite. After you migrate the repo, you have to turn on secret scanning before you can migrate the state and resolution of your alerts from your source system to your target system. And if we come back up here and look in the security tab, we can see I've got 8 secrets, only 3 closed, whereas previously I have On the old repo, I have 6 open and 5 closed under default. And then I have 6 under generic. So, how do we actually migrate the alerts then? Well, we use this Migrate Secrets Alerts option. So we say GHGEI Migrate Secret Alerts -- help. And that shows us that we just provide the source org, the source repo, the target org, and the target repo. So I've already done this a couple of times, so let's go find it in the, there we go. But in this case, we'll change it to the right repo. So now you can see I'm saying GHGEI, Migrate Secret Alerts. I provide the source org, the source repo, the target org, and the target repo. And I'll hit return. Now, if I had not turned on secret scanning, it would fail out. And if I looked in the log files, it would tell me you don't have secret scanning enabled. But since I do have secret scanning enabled, here we can see that it is matching up the secrets, updating the alerts as appropriate. And now if I come over here and refresh this page, you can now see that I've got 6 open and 5 closed. And if I look at the 5 closed, I can see it did keep the same used in tests and won't fix. So we're able to use this to migrate the state of the secret as well as the reason for why it might be closed. However, there is something you need to watch out for, especially if you are sending your secrets over to an external system. And that is, you'll notice that these secrets, let me switch back to this user. Come on, just work with me here. There we go, switch back to this user. These secrets were all opened on November 18th. But if we come over and look at the secrets in the EMU, those are showing as being opened just an hour ago, because we turned on secret scanning. So it doesn't reset the date. It doesn't migrate the date. It doesn't set those dates on the alerts back to the original date from your system you're migrating from. So what I don't know is, depending on how you're pulling this into another system, if you are for reporting purposes or whatever, if you're going to get duplication in that system because of the fact that the dates are different. So that's something you'd want to watch out for. But you are at least able to migrate the state and migrate the reason why it was closed over, so that you have that information in your new system. Now we can do something similar with code scanning. So if we come back over to our source system, you can see that we had run code scanning previously, and we have 5 open alerts and we have 1 closed alert. Just for grins, let's go ahead and close the cross-site scripting alert because we can. So we're going to dismiss this alert as won't fix. Stop asking. And now you can see we have, under code scanning, we have 4 open and 2 closed. And if you look at and just as we saw with the other ones, these were opened on November 18th. So if we come back over here to our command prompt and we do a GHGEI -- help, we can see there is a migrate code scanning alerts. This migrates all code scanning analysis, alert states, and possible dismissed reasons for your default branch, which lets you migrate the history of code scanning alerts to the target repository. So this is going to do something similar to what the secret scanning did. Now, to make this work, you have to have enabled code scanning in the target repo, the repo that we just migrated. Now, we don't have to actually run a scan, but we do have to at least have come down and enable code security. So you'll notice here that we enabled code security, but we haven't actually set anything up to scan. But we've enabled the code security. And by enabling, that's all we need to be able to run this migrate code scanning alerts rule or migration. So I've got this in here somewhere as well. So let me find it. You can see I've been all my testing. There we go. So you can see here, I'm saying GHGEI, migrate code scanning alerts, source org, source repo, target org, target repo. And because I have code scanning turned on, it's going to start migrating the alerts. And it's a little bit of a misnomer, right? It's migrating, well, in this case, it is migrating all the analysis, the alert states, and the possible dismissed reasons. So we'll have to give this a moment to run. Hey, look, while we're waiting for that to run, look who joined us. Milo. What's happening, Milo? What you no good? Milo likes to come sit on my keyboard. I'm afraid I may have messed this demo up, and if I did, we're going to try something else. But Milo likes to come sit on the keyboard, usually while I'm in meetings, but he also loves to get his face rubbed. So there we go. Wonder if you can hear him purring. We'll see if that came in or not. All right, let's go back because it is doing some stuff. All right, you can see that it's found all the different analysis, and it's starting to upload the information for the different analysis that have been run. So we'll let this run. We've got 11 out of 60. So I guess we can play with Milo a little bit while we wait. But I haven't found a way to handle Dependabot alerts. So I'm going to look into that a little bit more to see if there is a potential way of handling the Dependabot alerts, because that would also be helpful. I don't think there's going to be a way. I think you're just going to have to turn Dependabot back on and, let it see what it can find. All right, we're on 35 out of 60, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it because it's dark, but I got 2 dogs in the window as well. Ollie and Abby are in the window. The other 2 cats aren't anywhere to be found. All right, 5 more to go. Milo's sticking with us. Hopefully y'all are too. All right. You'll notice that it skipped 4 because it already had a match. Success 2. So everything looks like it worked. And as always, if you do you can see we have log files out there. So we could also look in the log file to see what happened in the log file if we wanted to. Ooh, that's really ugly. Oh, look, it's showing you all the calls that it's making to make the changes. That's pretty cool. But what we should see, hopefully back over here now, is if you remember, here we had 4 open and 2 closed. And here we have 4 open and 2 closed. Now again, I want to point out, just as with secret scanning, the date of when the alert was opened doesn't match what it was in the target system, because it's the date of when it was created in the, it doesn't match what's in the source system because it's the date of when it was created in the target system itself. So again, you can see it was open just 2 minutes ago. But it does allow you to create the alerts, in this case the code scanning alerts, as well as their state, as well as their reasons why they may have been closed. And there you go. That's how you do it. No option right now that I can find for migrating Dependabot alerts, but you do have the option for migrating your secret scanning alerts and for migrating your code scanning alerts. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it out with your friends, shout it from the rooftops, whatever you'd like to do. I've got other potential videos coming. This one was kind of fun to make because it was short and sweet. In general, the feedback I get from y'all is you like the more unscripted versus me trying to make something that's super pretty and doesn't have all of my little mistakes in it. So I'm going to keep doing that until you tell me otherwise. I'm looking for topics. So if you got topics, leave me some comments and let me know what you think. Otherwise, hope you found this helpful. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching.